Tennessee tradition is a distinctive shade of orange, unmatched anywhere in college football. And Big Orange fever is raging out of control throughout the Volunteer State. Now, from Neyland Stadium, here's WKXT Sports Director Rick Russo.
Good evening, everybody, and welcome to Neyland Stadium. I'm Rick Russo, and for the next half hour, we'll get you ready for kickoff as Tennessee plays its second game of this 1996 season. The Vols hosting the Bruins of UCLA in their season opener. UCLA coming off a 7-5 record and fifth-place finish in the Pac-10 in what was Terry Donahue's final year as head coach. More about all that a little bit later. However, before we look ahead, let's look back. Full of steam, Tennessee's national championship train is off and running. The Volunteers with a very successful dress rehearsal last Saturday against UNLV. Led by Peyton Manning and a host of others, the Vols racked up almost 500 yards of offense and 62 points. Meanwhile, the speedy Vol defense held the Rebels to just 3 points, 1 field goal. The result, a Big Orange win in front of what was the largest ever to see a game here at the newly expanded Neyland Stadium.
We took it very seriously. We talked a lot about there being 11 opportunities during the course of the year, and this being as important as any other non-conference game that we would play.
In front of a record crowd, the first record of the season was set by senior Joey Kent, his 19th career touchdown catch, tying the mark set by friend and former mentor Corey Fleming.
He continues to encourage me every week and to go out and do the little things and go out and perform each Saturday. So it's a good feeling to get the record, but you know that personal goals are really not relevant right now. We're just focusing on winning all of our games.
Kent, of course, part of a 63-yard bomb tossed by Heisman hopeful Peyton Manning, who didn't quite put up Heisman numbers, but looked solid in completing 18 of 24 passes for 298 yards.
He missed a throw early he would like to have back, but I thought for the most part his decision-making was outstanding. He was on the money with the football, and just a couple plays we'd like to have back, but for the most part played real well.
Peyton and the Vol offense racking up 473 yards thanks to an offensive line which worked well in its first game together.
I know they did a great job, in both the run game and the passing game. Had great protection all night. It was it's a little tough on those guys having that kind of that no-huddle offense. They don't get much rest in between huddles, so I think it showed they were in great conditioning and made the right calls the majority of the game.
Game one was a learning experience for all of us. I think it was pretty good. We all talk about the mistakes we made, but from that point on, we'll get better. First game, like this old saying, you only improve from the first game to the second game. You can't get any worse.
Meanwhile, off to a fast start in 96, the Vol defense built as a speedy and quick unit. They wouldn't let down, holding the Rebels without a touchdown.
We're looking for speed, and we're looking for guys that can be playmakers, and that's what we got to have. And the better athlete, the better opportunity he's going to have to make those plays.
I think the biggest thing about our defense are the linebackers are playing a lot better pass coverage than they were last year. I mean, they've worked on that during spring and summertime, and they're playing great. They're making us play a lot better.
With the presence of Peyton, Jay, Joey, and Leonard, the Vols have an impressive stable of athletes to toss into the boiling cauldron of national title contention. We'll converse with the head coach Philip Fulmer on this 96 season later in the show. But up next, we'll look at the game that's less than 25 minutes away. Yes, UT and UCLA. Stay close.
More good news from Tilly Lane in Lenoir City. Tilly Lane Chrysler Plymouth Dodge is now the home of the premier sport utility vehicle, Jeep. Luxurious, roomy, and loaded with state-of-the-art features, Jeeps are rugged and dependable, yet as pleasurable to drive as any fine automobile. Stop in and drive a new Jeep now at Tilly Lane. Today, as always, nothing compares to a Jeep. Equally incomparable is Tilly Lane Chrysler Plymouth Dodge Jeep Eagle in Lenoir City. Isn't it nice to hear good news for a change?
3 reasons why Oak Factory Outlet is the #1 place in East Tennessee to buy home entertainment centers. 1, best selection. 2, great quality. And 3, unbeatable prices. The best buys on Oak furniture anywhere. For a limited time, get 12 months same as cash during Oak Factory Outlet's Entertainment Blowout.
Natural gas means comfort, economy, dependability. Comfort. Natural gas heat means warm air comfort throughout your home, even on the coldest days. Economy, especially with gas water heating, saves $15 a month and more over the same size electric water heater. Dependability. No uncertainties in the Tennessee Valley about the future of natural gas. Comfort, economy, dependability. Natural gas.
This week, Daddy's come to visit and see how my river retreat's coming along.
Little Dixie always knew how to raise the roof. Looks like she's at it again.
And it's a lot easier with the Bell South Yellow Pages. Everything up there is right in here. Daddy, meet the roofers I found through the book.
Hello, Miss Carter. Hey. Dixie, you must be starving. Let me fix you something to eat. Where's the kitchen?
Yes, I saw your ad in the Bell South Yellow Pages.
It's the new Chicken Savory Caesar at Subway. 100% all breast chicken and the taste of a Caesar salad and a chicken sub. The Chicken Savory Caesar. Only at Subway. What a sandwich. The wave of the future is here, so get on it and ride. Computers Etc. can help you hold on. From surfing the internet to upgrading your system, Computers Etc. has the components you need. Buy RAM at wholesale. And why pay shipping and handling on hardware and software? Computers Etc. beats mail order prices. Or custom build a computer to meet your specific needs. Computers Etc. carries a 2-year parts and labor warranty. Computers Etc. also offers accessories that are in huge demand and hard to find. Computers Etc. Kingston Pike across from Circuit City.
Welcome back to Neyland Stadium in Big Orange Fever, everybody, as we continue countdown to tonight's kickoff between Tennessee and UCLA. Here's a look at the Bruins, who enter this new season with a new head coach, replacing longtime fixture Terry Donahue on the sidelines, and Bob Toledo, who spent the past couple of years as offensive coordinator at UCLA.
You know, the honeymoon's over. We're here to start playing games and here to start getting ready to perform.
The honeymoon is over as Toledo tries to improve a team which finished 7-5 last season and with a 51-30 loss to Kansas in the Aloha Bowl. Gone on offense, Kareem Abdul-Jabbar, the leading rusher, with 1,571 yards and 12 touchdowns. The Bruins use a monthful offense led by Cade McNown, who started 9 games as a freshman. However, UCLA returns only 4 starters on the offensive side of the ball.
We know they got some athletes. They always have good athletes at UCLA. They always contend, whenever they play somebody. So we know they're a really good team this year.
Bruins return 6 starters on defense, including safeties Andy McCullough and Sean Williams, who combined for 169 tackles last season.
Coach Toledo's brought a lot of what he had when he was at Texas A&M and Pacific. We're going to take chances, take risks. We're going to throw the ball. We're going to come out being aggressive on defense. And, it's a nice change-up. We have 4 guys back there that are experienced, probably the top defense in the Pac-10, probably one of the best secondaries in the country, I think. He has the 2 brothers at cornerbacks, and Heckman free safety, and Sean Williams and Abdul McCullough. He's kind of a preseason All-American guy who kind of plays like a linebacker but is in the secondary. So it'll be a big-time challenge for our receivers.
Tennessee leads the series with UCLA 5-4-2, a series which began back in 1965. Vols won the last meeting at Neyland Stadium 30-16 in 91. UT fans would like to forget the last game played between these two schools, the 94 season opener. Vols lost 25-23 at the Rose Bowl. Lost starting quarterback Jerry Colquitt for the season.
Well, without a doubt, all eyes this season will be focused in on number 16, Tennessee quarterback Peyton Manning, who is considered among, if not the favorite, to win this year's Heisman Trophy. The junior signal caller put up some decent numbers while seeing limited action in last Saturday night's opener against the Rebels.
I realized the rush wasn't real hard. UCLA rush a lot harder. I wasn't holding the ball, which is something I always look at. I want to get back there, try and get rid of the ball as soon as they can, know what receiver to throw to. So I thought from that standpoint, it was okay.
Although Peyton played only a little more than a half, he made his passes count with 15 of his 18 completions going for first downs. Tennessee scored on 5 of its first 7 possessions, including the first 3 against UNLV. And on one drive, it took the Vols only 15 seconds, with Manning hitting Joey Kent on the bomb. By the way, that touchdown pass was the 34th of his career. He needs only 3 more to overtake Andy Kelly and Heath Schuler. Once again in 96, UT displaying quick strike capability. However, the leader of the Vol offense says there's always room for improvement.
You can always get better, and our philosophy in our system is that there's a completion out there somewhere on every single down. So it's my job to go out and find it. I think one thing we need to work on is taking advantage of our opportunities inside the 25-yard line. At one time, it took us 4 downs to score when that quarterback sneaked when I got in, and one time we didn't score, ended up in an interception. So against UCLA, there's a whole different animal than UNLV. We need to take advantage of those opportunities.
One of the question marks prior to the season, how well the new offensive line would come together. So far, so good.
I mean, it's still a test to be told. Like I said, UCLA has a lot of great athletes. They're going to rush a lot of different people. They play so many different schemes, and so we'll see how they handle it. But I thought they played well on Saturday, and like I said, they're still working to get better because there's a lot of room for improvement for those guys also.
I think we did pretty well. You know, we did a lot of good things. I think people were, getting after people pretty well. There's room for improvement, and hopefully you'll see that up for that coming week.
In what may be Manning's final season as a Vol, it's interesting he's playing against UCLA. It was against the Bruins in the '94 season opener that he made his debut with the Big Horn.
I remember I was nervous. It's a lot different than it is right now. I remember Coach Fulmer coming over and telling Brandon Stewart how we were both going to go in and play. I remember it was such a tragedy for Jerry Colbert seeing him go down, and I thought he wasn't going to play the rest of the year. But I was extremely nervous. I remember I was just kind of taking in all the sights for the Rose Bowl and an opening day on ABC television. So it was kind of a fun day for me until they said I was going in. My heart started pounding, but that's kind of where everything started. Nobody could really be ready for that, I don't think. I mean, you tell yourself you're ready, but once you go in, you're not ready. And of course, that's the famous Jason Lehman story when he told me to kind of introduce me to college football and told me to keep my mouth shut. So I kind of learned the lessons from that game on.
You know, one of the guys Peyton worked closely with last year as the Volunteers made their way through an impressive one-loss season, offensive line coach Steve Marshall.
However, this year, Marshall is one of the enemies. He's traded his orange and white for the blue and gold of UCLA and will be on the opposing sideline tonight when the Vols take on the Bruins.
I think he's going to have a little insight on what's going on around here because he was here for 2 years. And with him being over there, he knows about our offense, but it still comes down to 22 people on the field. He's going to be up in the press box or on the sideline, and we're going to be on the field, so we can't control what he knows or what he knows about our offense because there's still going to be 22 people on the field going hard every play.
As you know, Marshall leaving Tennessee under a cloud of smoke. The NCAA determining back in July that he was negligent in not reporting a secondary rules violation committed by former Vol offensive lineman Leslie Ratliff. It's a violation which will cost the Volunteers one scholarship next season. Coming up on Big Orange Fever, a look at the Southeastern Conference football package on CBS with Jim Nantz and former UCLA coach Jerry Donahue. It all starts tonight. Don't miss it.
Introducing Water Tailgate Cruises. Every Saturday before UT home games, board the Star of Knoxville at the Alcoa Highway Military Training Base parking lot. Then cruise to the game. There's a barbecue buffet and a live DJ. Like a Big Orange pep rally on the water. After the game, climb back aboard for the Victory Party ride back to your car. All for just $8.95. And don't forget the regular Star of Knoxville cruises with bluegrass, jazz, and more. Call 525-STAR. Enjoy your next tailgate party on the Star of Knoxville.
Furniture Factory Mall is having a Labor Day buy one, get one free sale. Buy this polished cotton sofa and love seat for $899, get the chair free. Or buy this traditional sofa and love seat for $999 and get the chair free. Or buy any 4-piece adult bedroom suit and get a full-size set of innerspring bedding free and take advantage of 12-month same-as-cash financing. Now at Furniture Factory Mall on Dutch Valley Road. Take the Broadway exit off I-640.
Follow the team in a new van from Thrifty Car Rental of Knoxville and take the whole gang along in comfort and style. 7, 8, and 15 passenger vans available to transport your entire team to the big games at home or away. Store extra points with more room for everyone, plus plenty of room for refreshments and tailgate parties. Reserve your van now. There's 4 Knoxville area Thrifty locations for your convenience. Score big, football time or anytime. Pay the low Thrifty price and please pay no more.
Why is West Chevrolet a consistent regional sales leader? It's the price, plain and simple. Hi, I'm Michelle at West Chevrolet. And yeah, we've got inventory. 9 acres of cars, trucks, and vans. We've got the financial reps to process your credit applications fast. Hey, we'll do whatever it takes. And we've got great customer service. But the number one reason we're a sales leader is price. We'll do whatever it takes. West Chevrolet, the region's Chevy giant on the Airport Motor Mile.
Welcome back to Big Orange Fever. We're inside the football complex on the UT campus and joined now by head coach Philip Fulmer. And not a bad way to start the season with a big win over UNLV.
We were excited about the win. We went out and did what we should have done, and played hard and played well, and got that one behind us. Came out of it basically injury-free, except for Shane Begnall, and now we're looking forward to UCLA.
You didn't get a chance to play a lot of people in that game.
Played a lot of people. Part of it, we planned to do that. And others, when the score got where it was, and there was an opportunity to get a lot of people playing time.
Talk a little bit about UCLA first defensively, some decent defensive backs, and they come at you with 3 on the front, a different look than you've seen in the past.
It's a different look. It looks like it's 3, but there's really 7 or 8 of them up there, very close to the line of scrimmage, a lot of pressure package, something that would challenge our offensive line, challenge our running backs to protect, and also challenge Peyton to make sure that we're being directed in the right fashion to have time to get the ball off.
They've lost their big running back from last year, Abdul-Jabbar. What do they have coming back on offense, Coach?
Well, they have two great running backs coming back. Hicks is a guy that missed last season would have probably been their starter had he not torn his knee up, even in front of Jabbar. So they think that he's a great player, 220-pounder that runs 4.5. And a youngster named Price, who I understand is pushing Hicks and might beat him out. So UCLA is not short on talent in any position, I can assure you of that.
Back to Tennessee. Defensively, before the season, we all talked about the speed and quickness on the Tennessee defense. Were you as impressed as we were with what they showed against UNLV?
Yeah, they flew around on Saturday against UNLV. Obviously, the level of competition is going to be picked up considerably right now, and I hope they continue to do that. But we have a fast defense. We've worked hard in the recruiting process and putting the pieces together, and with a group of people that can run like we can, we should be fast.
Talk about this series. It's interesting.
It is an interesting series. I think it's a great rivalry. I think it goes like 5. Tennessee's won 5 and UCLA 4, and there's been 2 ties. So it's a very even series. A lot of big games in it that meant national things, and obviously a lot of pride that went into those early 60s games, and even the ones I've been involved since I've been here have always been very physical games.
Coach, good luck tonight against the Bruins.
Thank you.
UT's Philip Fulmer has just started his 5th season as leader of the Vols, and he's off to a great start, 34-7. And like all Big Orange fans, he's hoping to add 13 more wins and a national title to his resume this season. Tonight's Tennessee-UCLA game will be the first broadcast by CBS as part of the new Southeastern Conference football package. Jim Nance and former UCLA coach Terry Donahue are set to call the game. In fact, the new team has been putting in some practice time in town last Saturday night to do a mock broadcast of the UNLV game. That's when our Alan Williams caught up with the guys right here in the press box.
When Jim Nance walked into the Neyland Stadium press box, his first words were, "Man, it's good to be back." And that echoes CBS's feelings. They are back, beginning with tonight's game. It is part of an SEC package that will cover Tennessee 5 games this year.
I told my wife that we ought to consider maybe buying a condominium in Knoxville this year.
Nance knows Tennessee well, calling his last game in 1990 versus Notre Dame.
And look down on the field, and I recall, well, they had AstroTurf back in those days, but I remember Andy Kelly driving the Vols down to the 20-yard line in the closing minute and threw a pass that was picked off right at the goal line by Rod Smith of Notre Dame. I can still remember calling the play. Under a minute to go. Toward the end zone, intercepted. Rod Smith. Rod Smith saves the day. He should just fall.
Nance and analyst Terry Donahue started last week preparing for tonight's game, going through a mock broadcast.
Coach Donahue, I'm just thrilled to have as a partner, and it gives us a chance to work on our chemistry a little bit. We called 2 games at the end of last year, just right after Terry came off the sidelines, which was just I thought, a heroic effort on his part to come in after coaching on Christmas Day and call a game 4 days later on CBS. And 7 from the 11 out of the eye.
Nance knows the business pretty well. You'll have to excuse Terry Donahue for a while. Same game, different seat.
Coach, obviously a different perspective for you for so long on the sideline, and now you're up here in the booth.
Well, it's like an out-of-body experience for me, if you will. It's very strange to be out of college coaching and up here in broadcasting, but I'm really excited about the opportunity. And
Donahue is also no stranger here. Vol fans remember 1991. The Volunteers hosted the Bruins in Knoxville. his last impression of Neyland Stadium.
Well, it was definitely the hottest game I've ever been a part of. 126 degrees on the field. In fact, the Tennessee mascot, Dog, passed out during the game. And more people were concerned about that than they were about the players on the field.
Now, in the booth, it's Donahue's first time not coaching his team, but analyzing them.
A lot of similarities in your preparation during the week. It's incredible. I think the major difference is that as an analyst, you spend a great deal more time learning names and numbers. When you were coaching, you know, you just say, hey, that big left tackle, 79. You didn't really care what his name was. Now you better know what his name is.
The newly expanded North Upper Deck at Neyland Stadium brings the capacity to over 102,000. When Big Orange Fever returns here at Neyland Stadium, we'll look into the construction, plus we'll go ball shopping with our own Pat McMitchin. Don't go away.
Natural gas has sponsored these broadcasts for over a quarter century.
Players change, coaches change. But what we say about natural gas doesn't change.
Comfort. Gas heat means warm air comfort throughout your home.
Economy. Lower utility bills, especially with a gas water heater.
When what you say is true, there's no need to change.
Yesterday, today, tomorrow. Tennesseans know they can depend
on natural gas.
You love the way we greet you. You love the way we treat you. You love the way we meet your every need. This is the way buying a car should be. You love your Fox Toyota. East Tennessee's Toyota. With a total satisfaction guarantee.
The new Chicken Savory Caesar at Subway. 100% all breast chicken and the taste of a Caesar salad and a chicken sub. The Chicken Savory Caesar. Only at Subway. What a sandwich.
Stop, look, and listen to what's new at Oak Factory Outlet's Home Office Gallery. Fantastic buys on solid oak office furniture from traditional to contemporary. Perfect for your home or office. Largest selection in town. Buy now and get 6 months same as cash. Only at Oak Factory Outlet, your office headquarters.
Me? Work with lasers? That's what I used to do. Fix computers? Sounds too complicated. That's what I used to think.
If you think a career in a high-technology field is out of reach, think again. ITT Technical Institute will give you the solid skills that could lead to success.
Call ITT Technical Institute at 1-800-942-0088 for this brochure. That's 1-800-942-0088.
Welcome back to Big Orange Fever, everybody. You know, the 106,000 plus at last week's opener against UNLV was the largest ever to see the Vols play here at home. It was the 12th largest crowd of all time and the largest for a game not played in Michigan Stadium. You know, what was a decided advantage for the Volunteers has become even more so thanks to stadium expansion. Alan Williams has more.
It is the 15th expansion since 1921 for Neyland Stadium, $30 million worth. The new high-rise addition means high volume in attendance, too, over the 100,000 mark. Jim Whitaker, a member of the Neyland Stadium design team, outlined not only the new seating addition, but explained that a new scoreboard will be unveiled as well, with message centers, including animation panels. New additions also include an upgraded sound system sitting atop the press box. But the biggest feature of all is the seating. Athletic Director Doug Dickey announced a brand-new seating capacity.
And that number is 102,544 tickets. That is the largest stadium on campus in the United States.
Adding 4,000 workers and a standing room-only crowd, it could bring the total close to 107,000. And that brings it close to Michigan's record of 106,867. And that mark is in jeopardy of being broken in just about any game. Reporting for Big Orange Fever, I'm Alan Williams.
Now that more fans are attending the games with high hopes for the season, sales on all kinds of UT souvenirs are skyrocketing. Join our Pat McMitchin now as she goes ball shopping.
On game days when most fans see orange and white, these people see green.
And we'll do this till January 2nd. As long as UT wins, I'll have people in the door. It doesn't matter.
Anytime they win, we win. If they lose, we lose. So I don't look to lose this year, though.
Merchants say shirts are their biggest sellers this year, and some have quite a price tag. Take this Peyton Manning jersey. It's going for about $80.
UT fans are unique. There's nothing like them in the nation. And when they come in here, they want Manning. They want the best player that's here. Manning is it.
Hi, thank you very much. Have fun at the game.
Sweaters, T-shirts, and polos are also hot tickets.
We've sold so many polos today, and I think it's because it's hot outside. They like it. It's sporty looking, you know. T-shirts are second, but the polos are big.
Well, the good, you know, is always University of Tennessee, and the bad, you got Alabama, and then ugly for sure is Florida. So, you know, and everybody's going to be wearing those this year.
T-shirts are always a good start, but this year some of Tennessee's coolest fans are investing in things such as UT Pasta and, of course, University of Tennessee golf bags.
These are beautiful. We just got them in, and we even have an orange and white one that's here somewhere, but they're just gorgeous. And I think when they see it and they're going to have time, it'll be big.
Other unique items rank high for those fans who enjoy standing out in the crowd.
Game time hat only. I'll wear my baseball cap elsewhere.
Lucky?
I think so. I think this is going to go all the way this year because of my hat.
And for those who want to be a step ahead of the competition.
And they come out last of August, 1st of September, and I wear them pretty much every weekend at the Vols play. They've never lost. My shoes have never lost.
Big Orange fans even have their own tips for those people who want to arrive in style.
Do it yourself. I don't like cheaper. And you can do whatever you want to.
So from the typical to the more unusual, which is orange and white, it can be found with a little green. I'm Pam McMitchell reporting for Big Orange Fever.
You know, when talking to UT fans, not only do they feel confident about tonight's game against UCLA, but they feel that this could be the year that once again the Big Orange brings home a national championship.
I'd say beat them, what, 45-50 at least? At least. Tennessee's unstoppable national champions this year, baby. Woo!
They discount Tennessee, and we get them back in our backyard, and we're going to stomp them.
Well, I think we're going to take them probably 2 touchdowns. I think we're going to win big. It's going to be fun. Peyton Manning's going to have a great day. Oh, we're going to blow UCLA out. That's not a problem.
Who's going to be the problem?
Well, Florida, Alabama, and Georgia. But we'll take care of them.
Get out. That brings us to the end of our first Big Orange Fever special. We want to thank you for watching and hope you'll join us again on September 21st as the Volunteers take on Florida. I'm Rick Russo, and as we close, we'd like to thank some of the folks that helped make this special possible. And stick around. Moments away, kickoff UT and UCLA right here on Channel 8 and CBS. Go Vols!